Good morning.
Good morning, good morning. Good morning, Leon. Good morning, Almo. Good morning, Emmy. Good morning. Ooh, let me see. Addie. Benito's coming in. There comes Mackenzie and Ruby. Hello, guys. It's Wednesday, middle of the weekday. And oh, there's Carter. Hi, Carter. I see them all. Hey, hi, Elmo. You saying hi to your friends? Everybody wave at each other. Yeah, there's your buddies, your second grade classmates. Awesome. All right, I can't wait. 2 more days till we have another festive Friday. Woo, I heard there's a game. Ooh, a couple more friends coming in. So just relax, sit tight, watch Doggo. And let's get started. All right, here comes Viviana. Now, what are we doing today? It's reading day. That's right. Emmy, are you ready to help me? Okay, go for it.
Right, I know we're having a Nearpod, so I have to get all my Nearpod stuff.
It's okay.
Like my keyboard and my mouse. Participate, be respectful, on time, microphones muted, full name in the chat, stay seated, eyes on me.
Beautiful, thank you. Now for our weekly spotlight, I did change them. I finally changed them. Carter, tomorrow, we're gonna do 2 things tomorrow. We're gonna do your field trip and you get to pick a game. Boy, you better come tomorrow. It is a special day for Mr. Carter. Now, Ruby, amazingly detailed responses. You should see all of the details she writes in her responses. Never a one-word answer, always a complete sentence, and lots of extra sentences to back up what she's saying. So if you say something, then write another sentence to prove it. Easy. Addie, working hard. Look at her go. I can't believe she's already on module 9 in some of her work. Oh my goodness, I'm so impressed. All right, back to you, Miss Emmy. What is today?
Oh, okay, you changed it.
I did.
Wednesday, December 7th, 2022.
Woohoo! Wow, that was great. You should be on TV. Now we have our birthday celebrations for December all month long. We have Ace and Christopher. What are we doing? Oh, I forgot to give a monkey clap. What are we doing today? Well, last time we met up, we talked a lot about describing the main story elements, the main elements in a story. Yeah. And you know, you have it when you can identify the main idea of a story. But I remember saying that the next steps were to delve even deeper into a story. First of all, type in the chat. When I say story, am I saying fiction or nonfiction? Who's got the answer to that first? Fiction or nonfiction? What does she mean when she says story? Let's see. Who knows it? No answers yet. You don't have to spell it perfectly. That's the first question I have. Am I talking about a nonfiction text, like that's informational, or a fictional text? Fictional means fake. Not one person has written in the chat yet. I'm waiting. Carter, you have something in there? Leon, go for it. You could type in the chat, you know.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, I'm waiting. Oh, Mrs. Cruz is getting old. What is a story? Is it fiction or nonfiction? Nobody knows? Say, I don't know. You can say, I don't know. Oh, somebody's got an answer. Oh, wow. I see 2 answers. Thank you, Emmy. Thank you for being honest. Love that. Honesty is my favorite characteristic. Anybody else? One more to break the tie. One more. Just need one more. Okay, moving on in 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, we have a broken tie. Thank you. Don't unmute. Let me tell you, Let me tell you, I can't wait to tell you. The answer is when Mrs. Cruz is talking about a story, she's talking about fiction. Fiction. Yeah. Oh my goodness, that's an important lesson. Mom and dad say, go pick a storybook. Are you going to go pick a book about, I don't know, how to create dinner, like how to make a dinner, how to make roasted turkey? Or are you going to go pick a story that tells like a once upon a time or a narrative? Now that's a very important lesson to practice, understanding the difference between fiction, which means fake, and nonfiction, which means not fake, not made up. So when I say story, and this is important because this whole lesson is going to be based on stories. We're going to talk about fictional, fake, made up stories. All right, so let's move on. We are going to identify and explain the moral of a story. Oh, I don't even know what a moral is, so let's learn. Before we begin, what is a quick review? Well, I've noticed that when we are doing our DBAs earlier, guys, you want to listen to this because this might have been you. I don't know.
We already know.
I'm thinking. I'm sorry. I'm trying to think about something. Moving back. Trying to think about our promise. Okay. What is author's purpose and how do I determine the type of purpose while reading and writing? Well, when we did our DBAs, I noticed that some of our friends maybe need a little more practice on author's purpose. So for a quick review, before we talk about the moral of a story, let's talk about what the purpose of writing a story or a text is. Notice I said story or a text. Okay, so when someone's writing a text, it could be either nonfiction or fiction, but a story is always fiction. It's made up. All right, what is the author's purpose? It's as easy as pie. Persuade. I think you should definitely buy this brand of shoes because they're the best. You can jump the highest. They last the longest. I'm going to persuade you to do something. Or inform. Let me teach you all about whatever. Inform has the word, is inside the word information. So now, when an author writes something, when you write something, when I write something, I can either persuade you, that could be my purpose for writing, or I could inform. Okay, hold on. I have to put somebody back in the waiting room because they keep unmuting. Bye. Okay. What is the author's purpose and how do I determine the type of, where were we? Oh, entertain. Stories are a type or a version of entertaining. You might write a joke book. You might write a story about a friend who went skydiving and grew wings. I don't know. It could be something just to make us smile, frown, cry, laugh. It's an entertaining story. Think about your holiday movies that you're watching. Okay, they're there to entertain you. All right, moving on, guys. I just wanted to review that. Let's get to our Nearpod. Okay, I'm going to write and put the code. Where's my code? Nearpod. Here I come. Let me pop this in the chat for us. Ooh, look how fast I am today. And JRVCL. And now we're going to come back. And while you are signing in, I'm going to stop sharing in just a moment. We have 6 friends in. Let's get started. Whoa, it's a dragon. Look out. Today's lesson is about the central message, the moral of the story, and practicing retelling. We are going to practice retelling all the details. So buckle up, guys. The first thing I want to review with you or talk about with you is, what does it mean when I analyze? I use that in science. In feedback, I'll use it in science too. What does analyze mean? Anybody remember? Go ahead, Emmy. Something about looking very careful. Looking really careful.
Carefully?
Yes. When we are analyzing, we're definitely looking very carefully. We don't just look at it and go, yeah, whatever. We really dive deep. Yes. And the other thing is we have to ask questions while we read. Thank you, Emmy. It's important to ask questions. I remember when I was a little baby girl watching a movie with my parents and we went to the movie theater and I kept doing this. You ready? Well, why is he doing that? Where did that come from? Who are those people? What happened? And he was asking questions all throughout the movie, and the people in the movie theater were like, shh, shh. But I was asking important questions. I wanted to understand what the movie was all about. You should do that when you read a book. When you're reading a book, it's important to ask yourself questions to help you analyze what you are reading, understand it completely. So here are some of the questions. You guys raise your hand if you've heard this one. Who are the characters? I know that question. How about this one? Where does the story take place? What's the setting? Have you heard that one? Yeah? Okay, how about this one? Events. Main events in the story. Have you heard that word? Yes, you have. How about this one? Have you ever asked yourself, oh my goodness, what are the characters learning in this story? What's happening and why are they learning that? That's called a moral. A moral is sort of like a little lesson that they learn. And what about this one? One more. What's the theme or central message? Have you heard those words? I hope so. Can you think of any other questions you ask while you read? Yeah. Have you ever thought about, oh, go ahead, Olmo. What's a question? Thank you for raising your hand. Go for it.
Why are they doing that?
I know, like what? Exactly. That's just like me in the movies. Why are they doing that? Why didn't they do something else? That's a good, oh, I've watched a scary movie once and it was like, don't go down the stairs. And they went down the stairs and I'm like, why did you go down the stairs? It's creepy down there. So you ask yourself why they're doing things. Oh, I saw a hand from Emmy. Do you have any other questions? Did you have a question? Okay, go for it. What would
I was just thinking, if you want to be careful, well, and when you're at the movie theater, why would you trust?
No, exactly. So, but when you're reading,
when everyone says yay, you can do it. But
I know, very true. Thank you, Emmy. So, and then of course, when you are asking yourself questions and answering them, because by the way, when you ask yourself a question, there may not be anybody around to tell you the answer. You're going to have to find the answer. Maybe the book will tell you the answer. Maybe the pictures will tell you the answer. But when you find your answers, what do you do with them? We write them down in a graphic organizer. That's what we do. As students, we learn to organize our thoughts. Here is something very important you guys are going to start working on. On the next slide, we will read the story together twice, 2 times. As we read the first time, we're going to stop and ask questions, important questions. After we're all done, we will repeat the story and read it nice and fluently. Okay. At the end of the Nearpod, you are going to be asked to retell the story to prove that you are remembering all the details. And here are some suggestions I thought of to help you remember everything that happens in a story. Ready? 1, see it in your head like a movie. Yeah, you can almost close your eyes and watch what happens as you read. Just don't close your eyes. Now, you can repeat. Number 2, repeat and rehearse. Sometimes when I was reading really big books that were like challenging and important, I would have to repeat it. I'd go back over, reread the paragraph so it would stick in my head. It's called rehearsing. Or you can act it out. Can you imagine if you acted out Little Red Riding Hood? And right there in your living room, you could act it out. How about 4? Use your fingers to count out the events in order. Oh, did this. Number 2, he did that. Number 3, he did that. Put them in order. They'll stick on your fingers. Number 5, use a graphic organizer. Write them down. Okay, that you would organize and write your key details in order. Now, I said we were going to read this story. Okay, you are welcome to mute or turn down your volume and try reading it on your own. I'm going to read it, but here's the deal. The first time we read it, we're going to stop and see if anyone has any questions. Do you remember the questions? What is the character? Who are the characters? Where are the setting? What happened? Why is that happening? What's going to happen next? Who's got the problem? What's the solution? You can ask yourself all sorts of questions. Here we go. A fox once saw a crow fly off with a piece of cheese in its beak and settle on the branch of a tree. Okay. All right. Anybody have any questions so far? Go ahead, Olmo.
Why the crow take the cheese?
That's right. Why is he eating cheese? How did he get cheese? That's true. All right. Can we go on? Oh, Mackenzie, why don't you do the next one? Let's read the next sentence. The fox wanted the cheese, so he walked up to the tree. Good day, Crow, he cried. How well you are looking today. How pretty your feathers, how bright your eyes. I have heard that you have a beautiful voice as well. Questions? Questions? Mackenzie?
Why did the fox want the cheese?
It's a good thing. It does say the fox wanted the cheese. You're right. That's a good point. And your answer in your head is probably like, he's probably hungry. Maybe it smells good. I don't know. He likes to steal cheese. All right, let's go on. I saw Ruby. Ruby, do you have a question that helps you think about what's happening? No? Okay, I'm going to Emmy.
Oh, is he running to get the cheese? Or is he walking?
That's a great question.
Or is he
how is he acting? But did you notice?
Weird.
Yeah, did you notice, Emmy, what he was saying to the crow too? Yeah, sounded like he was saying all sorts of, what kind of things was he saying, Leon? Hi, Leon. What was he saying? Thank you for raising your hand. What was he saying to him, Leon? Go, go, go. Can you unmute? What?
The fox, is the fox gonna eat the cheese or
Yeah, you asking that question. Me too. I think he would. What was he saying to the crow?
there's
he
like
just,
cheese in the house.
Did he say that? Say that.
Is that an echo?
Okay, I'm going to put you back on mute, okay? Did he say mean things to the crow or nice things? That's a good question to ask. Addie, do you have any questions you would think about to ask?
Yes. Does he want to eat the cheese or does he want to eat the crow?
Oh, that's a great question. I love it. All right, guys, thank you. Thank you. That's a very important question. Let's move on. Let's read a couple more sentences. The crow was very pleased with what the fox said, so she opened her mouth to sing, and the piece of cheese fell to the ground. The fox ate it up. As he walked away, the fox said, "Beware of those who flatter." Okay, questions. Does that make any sense? Do we want to ask any questions about all this? Viviana.
Why did he eat the cheese?
That's a good question. I love it. And in your head, you're thinking to yourself, did he just want to trick the fox? Was he hungry? You have to think about the answers too. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Vivian. I'm going to go back to Ruby. I see her hand. Go ahead, Ruby.
What's flatter mean?
What a great question. So that when you come to a word that you don't understand, but that you know is important in the story, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You're just going to skip over it? You're going to close the book and run away? Who are you going to go ask? How are you going to look up the word flatter so you know what it means? Emmy? Oh, I'm sorry, Ruby. Go ahead, Ruby.
I'm going to look it up in a dictionary.
Wow, that is a great response. You can look up you can look up the word in a dictionary and try to read the definition. Who else could you ask? Let's see. Anybody have somebody they would run to and say, "What's this mean?" Let's see, Leon. Who would you go ask?
Why was this fox raining to eat the cheese?
Who would you ask if you didn't know the meaning of a word, Leon? Would you ask mom or dad?
Oh yeah, Mom.
Yeah, good answer. Go up to mom and ask. Addie, who would you ask? Or how would you find out?
I'll Google it or tell Granny or Grandpa.
That's right. It is super important that when you come to a word that is new to you, that you don't just forget about it. You don't just skip over it. Go find out what it means. It's important to you at this age to get as many words in your head as you can and understand as many words, new vocabulary words as you possibly can. This will always be important to you. All right, guys. So we have to talk about flatter. But first, I'm going to read this whole story one more time. Once again, you can do this on your own. Just turn me down and try reading it on your own or listen to me read it fluently. Here I go. A fox once saw a crow fly off with a piece of cheese in its beak and settle on the branch of a tree. The fox wanted the cheese, so he walked up to the tree. "Good day, Crow," he cried. "How well you are looking today. How pretty your feathers, how bright your eyes. I have heard that you have a beautiful voice as well." The crow was very pleased with what the fox said, so she opened her mouth up to sing. She opened up her mouth to sing, and the piece of cheese fell to the ground. The fox ate it up. As he walked away, the fox said, "Beware of those who flatter." What did the fox do that you think means flatter in this story? I think we know the answer to the word flatter. Ooh, let's see, anybody? Remember all the things he said? Addie, go for it.
Flatter means that he said nice things, like he said your feathers are beautiful and all of those other things.
Yes, excellent. Flatter means to say, give compliments and say super nice things about you, but with a reason. What do we know about foxes? What do we know about the character of a fox? Aren't they really... Ooh, Mackenzie, what's a fox like?
In most of the stories that have foxes, they're mostly mean.
And yes, they are mean, but they're also really... Let's see who knows it. Emmy?
Alden. Smart.
Yes, they are smart, Emmy.
Sorry, we unmuted. Sorry.
She did it on purpose.
Go ahead, Emmy.
They're sly, but they're really sneaky.
Ooh, that's a good new word, sly and tricky. So we can answer some questions now. We understand the character's perspective. That fox, he was tricky and sly, and he was going to find a way. You know, foxes don't have wings. They can't climb up trees really well, you know, so how's he going to get this cheese? He's hungry. He wants that cheese. How is he going to get it? The only way he knows how, right, Ruby? He's going to figure out a way to get the crow to Olmo. What's he going to have to do? Or Ben? He's going to have to try to get that. Go ahead, Olmo.
He may have to say nice things about the crow. So the crow starts singing and drops the cheese out the beak.
That's right. Have you ever had something in your mouth and then you opened it up and it fell, you know, like a lollipop or a candy? You're like, hey, it fell down. So yes. So he tricked him. And now we're analyzing texts. Woohoo! By asking questions and thinking very deeply about why characters do things and all those questions we can ask, we have just analyzed to understand exactly what happened. Details. Let's list the major events from the story. The major events help us understand the central message, the main idea, and even the moral of the story or the lesson that is learned. Guys, this is a drag and drop. I'm going to read through all of these and notice only the purple box. But wait, don't slide anything yet. There's a trick. I'm tricking you. I'm being sly like the fox. There are 6 major events from the story. The rest of them were just like in a, you know, when you do the cube strategy, you can eliminate some things that don't really matter. So let's see if you can find the major events that made the story happen. First, fox saw crow with cheese. If that didn't happen, would the story happen? So I think that might be a major one. Slide it in if you think it's a major event. Put it in the purple box only. Fox wanted the cheese. Fox told crow he was pretty. Fox told crow he had a beautiful voice. The cheese fell to the ground. The fox ate the cheese. Fox said, "Beware of those who flatter." The crow was pleased and started to sing. He walked up to the tree. The crow sat on the branch of a tree. Fox said, "Good day, crow." And the last one, the crow's eyes were bright. So when you think about what happened in the story, and you want to choose only the major events, and you're not sure, ask yourself, if this didn't happen, if the cheese didn't fall to the ground, then the story would be different, right? Wouldn't have happened. So that must be an important detail, because if it didn't happen, the story would have changed. That's how I determine if there are important major events. All right, let's see how we're doing. Leave the green and the blue box alone for now. Oh, look at you. Remember, there are 6. See if you can find 6 major events. Hi, Desiree. I see you now. Hi. All right. So let's see how we're doing. And I see answers from Addie and Emmy, and everybody else is working. Trying to be a little quiet so you can read. It's a little slow on my end, so. Now, when you pick your major events, it should basically retell the story. Think about that for a second. If you've chosen your 6 major events and you put them in the purple box and you read each of them, it should tell you the whole story with all the fluff gone. You don't need all that extra stuff. Okay? So if you don't get all of them correct, it's okay. This is just good practice for you to understand what are the major events in a story. Ooh, that's good. Ruby's got 4 of them. Now I'm going to go back to mine, and you're free to copy me. All right, so the major events in the story. Let's see. If Fox never saw the crow with the cheese, then I don't think it would be a story, right? I mean, that was really important to the story that the fox saw the crow with the cheese. He wanted the cheese. Fox told Crow he was pretty. That's nice, but he didn't have to say that. All he really had to say was, Fox told Crow he had a beautiful voice. Right? All the other stuff, all those other nice pieces of flattery, those comments, those compliments, they didn't matter. He only really needed to tell Crow, you have a beautiful voice. And the crow was pleased. He started to sing. I've got 4. The cheese fell to the ground. 5. The fox ate the cheese. Done. Those are the 6 major events that retell the story. And of course, you could say that this part, Fox said, beware of those who flatter, is like a little lesson. It's like he wagged his finger at the crow and said, ha ha, you should have listened. You shouldn't have listened to me. Okay, guys. So if you don't get them exactly like mine, it's okay. But I do want you to think about when you've selected those major key events, do they actually retell the story? All right, we better hurry up. We are overdue. We are going in late, and I've got a small group. So let's go over the moral real quickly. On the next slide, we don't really have time, but you can try to share the lesson or moral. So wag your finger at Mrs. Cruz right now. Do it. Have you ever had somebody tell you, you should never, or you should always? So I wonder what lesson the author is trying to teach us. What is something that we need to know? Imagine the author is trying to teach little kids to always do something or never do something. What is it that you think he's trying to teach? Okay, so on the next slide, you can, if we have time, you can go ahead and type it in, what you think the moral of the story is. And I always kind of started out with, you should never, or you should always. I wonder what the author was trying to teach us. Never eat cheese? No. That's not right. Maybe he was trying to teach little kids. Let's see. Never to listen to a fox? No. How many times are we going to meet a fox? Maybe he was trying to teach us something about compliments or not listening to flattery. What do you guys think? I don't want to give it away. Don't listen to strangers. That's a good one. I like that one, Mackenzie. That's right. Don't give up your cheese. Oh, the fox saw the crow. Yep, there's a retell. Thank you. Ben, what do you think the moral is? What's the lesson that they're trying to teach us? Never do this or always do that. What do you think it is? Carter, do you want to unmute and share what you think the lesson is?
Don't talk to strangers.
I like that one. Very nice. Excellent. Addie? Okay.
I was going to say never listen to strangers' tips.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good one. That's definitely a good lesson. Anybody else? Okay, moving on. Oh, Leon, what do you think? Oh, I see Viviana's too.
Never listen to a crow when it has cheese.
never listen to a fox who wants the crow's cheese, right?
Right.
That could work. You shouldn't trust foxes. That's a good one. All right, Viviana, go for it. Thank you, Leon. All right, Viviana.
Never talk to strangers.
That's always a good lesson, isn't it?
Yep.
Well, so there's, oh, Almo, I see your hand. Go for it.
You should never listen to foxes.
I know foxes are tricky. And that's an important lesson though, to think about. People might try to do that. They could trick you or say fake compliments. Flattery is kind of like a compliment, but it's sort of fake so that they're trying to get something from you. So you could have people saying something nice or trying to get you to do something to fall for something. And maybe that's part of a lesson. So there's many, many lessons. Ask your family, what do you think the lesson is, and see what they tell you. Because, well, who better than to teach you lessons than your family? All right, so we're going to skip past the main idea and the central message. This I will revisit again next week so that we can work a little bit more on central message and the difference between that and the main idea. And now, and the retell. How confident do you feel about the moral of the story? Let's only do one part. The moral is the lesson that the author's trying to teach little kids or teach people. It's a little like message he's trying to teach. So I've got this. I know exactly how to choose, how to figure out what the message is, the moral of the story is. Never do this, always do that. B, I need a little practice. Or C, help. What are we talking about? What is the moral of a story? Awesome. Good work, guys. Thank you for being honest. And we're done because guess what? I have to go to our small group. I hope you guys join me. And if not, that's fine. I'll see you tomorrow for math. Yes. Bye, guys. Bye.
See you in small groups.
Bye.
Bye. Alligator.